DJ Fresh is in the house representing all of South African radio as we move towards World Radio Day on Wednesday. What a South African icon, what a legend, what a great guy.
Yeah.
DJ
Stop it, man. Stop it. What are you doing?
No, we're actually counting me out there. I wouldn't have given you that long an intro. Normally, I was just waiting, belaboring the point.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much
Thanks
for
for
coming
joining
down,
us.
man.
Yeah, and now they say that video killed the radio star, no? But in South Africa and in the world, that is so not true. And what do you think attributes to that?
You know, I think that was the biggest fear when MTV started, that, you know, radio would die out. But it's like with your iPod. Your iPod will never keep you company. You've got the music, but you don't have the personality. You don't have
connection.
You need the connection, exactly. And I think that's what's special about radio.
Yeah.
Radio gives you that.
So you've been doing music since you were, for about 20 years, radio for about just over 15. What began your love affair with radios in particular?
I think the first person I heard on the radio that made me fall in love with it was, I think it was Treasure Shabalala on Metro. Yeah, I think I was 14, 15. I heard this big booming voice on the radio.
I was about to say, there must have been
Yes.
something synchronized
I mean,
there.
I heard this big booming voice. I was like, I think I like this. And 3 years later, I was on radio, so that's how it started. So thanks, Treasure.
Where do you get it right? What has enabled you to be so comfortable in this genre?
You know what it is? I love music. I love sharing music. I love talking. I mean, if I wasn't in radio, I'd probably be a lawyer because I feel like I always have something to say. So, you know, law wasn't winning when DJing was winning, and that's how I ended up.
That's the thing, you've got to get the last word in.
Exactly, yes.
I love that. Now, I know that when you've been doing radio for obviously a very, very, very long time, but as a club DJ, you specialize in house. Now, what made you go the house route and not the hip-hop route? And, you know, what made you think, you know, I'm going to go this route? Because I know Anthem in House Volume 1 is my favorite song, and that began my love affair with house. For you, what was it?
It's quite a serious question, actually, eh?
In fact, when I started DJing when I was 13, it was actually at school socials. So I was actually playing everything. Because, I mean, I was at a school with kids from, 40, 50 countries. So I was playing everything, literally from rock to hip-hop to R&B to house.
Yeah.
Then, obviously, house music was born. Then I kind of started going towards the house music direction. Then Kwaito was born, and I started DJing Kwaito also. But, you know, it always goes back to house for me.
Yeah.
Because that's just what it is. I think it speaks to my soul. I feel centered when I listen to house music.
feels good.
Now, because you look at the amount of CDs that you've released, it's
About 25.
Yeah, it's insane.
just 25.
Absolutely insane. Now, this is a commercial interest, obviously a commercial relationship with house music.
Yeah.
That is a whole different side to the career. What has it taken to get you to this point, not just standing out here in South Africa, but internationally? You are seen as a representative for all South African house DJs.
No pressure, right?
Yeah, exactly.
You know what it is? I mean, initially it was for commercial reasons, but I think more than that, it was to fill a void. I mean, when we started doing Fresh House Flavor, there weren't really any house music compilations coming out. And I mean, there was so much music, there was so much demand.
There were a couple of club compilations,
Yes,
you know?
but there wasn't an outlet.
Yeah, 100%.
So I think that's,
nothing
you know, that's
purist,
initially
yeah.
what it was, really. But eventually people start expecting you to release something. So it starts becoming about what people expect, not necessarily that you really want to release. Honestly, I'm actually tired of doing albums.
Are you serious?
We're not going to let you
But
stop,
people
though.
expect it.
Stop. I'm like, what am I going to do? Where am I going to get my house fixed? But speaking of which, you do seminars at the South African Music Conference, right?
Yes.
And you've been doing that for over 5 years, if I'm not mistaken?
Yeah, we've been doing the Southern African Music Conference about 7, 8 years now.
Okay.
Yes.
And what do you think it takes to be a hectic DJ, whether it's house, whether it's hip-hop, but a South African renowned DJ or a world-renowned DJ like yourself?
I think it takes one, dedication. I think a lot of guys expect things to happen immediately, but they don't realize that most of your so-called DJ legends, they started their love affair with DJing from an early age, and there was a stage where you were just hustling, trying to get in. I mean, there was a stage trying to get into radio. I was submitting demos to anybody willing to listen.
Of course.
To anybody willing to listen. I think I sent about 4 or 5 demos to Metro. I even sent a demo to Radio Sky.
Okay.
That's how desperate I was to get into radio. I think likewise with DJing, you need to not lose your patience, and eventually that pays off. I mean, you pay your dues, and you know when the floodgates open, they're open.
Then it opens.
And if you're not ready, you're gonna drop the ball.
Yeah.
But do you feel privileged? You kind of sit with this bird's eye view of South Africa. You get to see the very best of everything that
Literally.
happens, also the very worst of that. What's that like, being a radio DJ in South Africa now, with so much going on, when you guys are very often front page news yourselves?
You know what? I think it's a privileged position to sit in, because I mean you get to listen to the nation, but you also get to talk to the nation, and sometimes you get to set the agenda. And I think that's what people don't realize, that radio is not just he's so cool, he's on radio.
Yeah.
I mean, with that comes so much responsibility on your shoulders. People expect certain things of you. People expect you not to think in a certain way. But sometimes people expect you not to think.
Yeah, and just to deliver information the way that it's
Yeah.
there.
People will
It's
tell you
not
that, no, you're on national radio, you can't express your opinion. No, it's called the Fresh Drive. You will get fresh opinions. You know what I mean? And that's just what it is. But with it comes a ton of responsibility.
Definitely.
That's the only reason I go to gym, so I can carry the responsibility.
Weight of the industry on your shoulders. Now, you're a wealth of knowledge, and you've also done this really, really awesome collaboration with Euphonic, right? And you guys do, if you do the parties, you guys do your compilations. My thing is how did the whole collaboration start? I mean, you've been in the game, you know, you've been in the game for a really long time. What in him did you see that you needed to develop? And do you plan on doing it with another up-and-coming DJ?
You know what? I think my entire DJ career has been about, you know, who else can I put on or empower, as it were. And I think with Euphonic, initially we started just doing DJ sets together. If we're playing at the same gig, if he's playing before me, we'd, you know, merge our sets together, do a 2-hour set. And initially that's all it was.
Okay.
And then we realized that, wait a minute, this actually works. Let's actually make it work. You know, so we did the proverbial ring on the finger and, you know, turned it into a business venture. So, but I think I love working with him because he works hard. I've never worked with anybody who would not have made it by themselves anyway.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
I like that.
I believe work with potential and help turn potential into something worthwhile. And I mean, if you don't carry your own weight, no one's going to help you.
Yep. No,
It's as simple as that. I mean, if you're making an effort and people can see that, listen, this person's working hard anyway, you know, it's not difficult for people to help you.
Yep.
But if you're sitting there waiting, saying, woe is me.
Let's wait for Fresh to come scoop me up.
Someone must rescue me.
You certainly ran with that ball, man.
Government must start a DJ school. No, you know, work
Okay, well,
hard.
you think you've been tested. You think that you've proven your mettle. Not so, my man. We've got to put you in the kitchen. Then we can see what kind of a man you are. Time to make a Chinese-inspired dessert, dude.
Okay.
Maybe it's gonna take you through to the kitchen where you and Lee are standing by, guys.